The engines rumbled like thunder across the empty highway, shaking the ground beneath them. A pack of bikers, tough and road-worn, rode side by side through the sunset, leather jackets glinting, faces hardened by years of storms and scars. But none of them knew that in just a few minutes, everything was about to change, that their wild freedom would crash straight into a moment that would test their humanity and rewrite the meaning of brotherhood forever. It started at the edge of a small town. The bikers slowed as they neared a gas station, laughter echoing as they parked their bikes. Their leader, Cole, tall, tattooed, and silent, stepped off first. He had seen too much of life to be easily surprised. But as he turned to grab his helmet, he heard it, a sound so small, so broken, it didn't belong in their world. A little girl, no older than 7, came running out of the trees barefoot, her face covered in dirt and tears. She stumbled toward them, sobbing, voice trembling through gasps of breath, "Please, help my mama. They're beating her." The laughter died instantly. The world went still. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Cole froze. His heart, the same one that had been turned to stone years ago, cracked a little at the sound of her voice. The girl's tiny hands clutched his jacket, eyes wild with terror. "Who?" he asked sharply, kneeling in front of her. "Who's hurting your mom?" She pointed toward the forest road behind the gas station, shaking all over. "3 men, they took her into that old house." She tried to fight them, but her voice broke. "They hit her. Please, mister, please help her." Cole turned to his crew. No words needed. Every biker there understood. They'd seen the worst of people, but there were lines even they'd never let be crossed. "Tank, Denny, with me," Cole ordered. "The rest of you stay here with the kid." The girl grabbed his arm. "You'll bring her back?" Cole met her tear-filled eyes. "I swear." They roared down the narrow dirt path, branches snapping against their jackets, headlights cutting through the darkness. The old house appeared ahead, broken windows, silence, shadows moving inside. Cole's fists clenched around the throttle. He didn't wait for a plan. The second he heard the muffled cries from inside, he kicked open the door. The scene hit him like a punch. A woman, bloodied, trembling, was pinned to the ground by 2 men while another shouted orders. Before any of them could react, Cole slammed his helmet into the nearest man's jaw. Tank grabbed the second and threw him into the wall, while Denny, big and scarred, held the third by the collar, rage burning in his eyes. "What kind of man hits a woman?" Denny growled. The man spat blood. "None of your business." Cole's punch cut the sentence short. Minutes later, silence. The only sound left was the woman's quiet sobs. Cole knelt beside her, his voice softening. "You're safe now, ma'am. Your daughter's waiting for you." She looked up, dazed, eyes wide with disbelief. My daughter?" He nodded. "Little thing. Braver than any of us." When they led her out, the girl ran toward her mother, crying her name. They fell into each other's arms, clinging like the world had almost torn them apart, because it almost had. The bikers stood back quietly, engines idling, letting them have that moment. Cole turned to his men. "We're not leaving them here." They took mother and daughter to the clubhouse that night, a place once filled with nothing but noise, smoke, and chaos. But that night, it felt different. The little girl sat by the fire, wrapped in one of their leather jackets, drinking hot cocoa that looked too big for her hands. Her mother sat quietly beside her, bandaged, silent, but safe. Cole watched from the corner. He couldn't shake the way the girl had run to him, how much faith she'd had in complete strangers. And how easily she could have been ignored days past. The woman, Maria, told them her story. Her ex-boyfriend had been violent for years, and when she finally tried to leave, he and his friends hunted her down. She'd escaped into the woods with her daughter but didn't get far. That's when the little girl saw the bikers and ran. "You saved us," Maria said quietly one night, eyes glistening. "I don't even know your names." Cole shrugged. "Names don't matter. You and your girl are safe. That's what matters." The girl smiled shyly at him. "You're my heroes." For a moment, none of the men spoke. Tank, the biggest and toughest, suddenly looked away, blinking hard. Weeks later, Maria and her daughter moved into a small apartment with the help of the bikers. They made sure the men who hurt her were behind bars. But for Cole, something deeper had shifted. He'd always thought the road was all he had: miles, machines, and silence. But that little girl had run to him like he was something more. Like he was someone who could be trusted again. One evening, as they packed up their bikes to ride out, Maria and her daughter came to see them off. The girl ran straight to Cole, hugging his leg. "When I grow up," she said softly, "I'm gonna help people too. Just like you." Cole smiled, really smiled, for the first time in years. He put his hand on her shoulder. "Then you'll do it even better than I ever could." As the bikers roared off into the setting sun, the girl waved until they disappeared. The wind carried their engines echoes like a promise, that even the roughest souls can carry the biggest hearts. And somewhere down that endless road, Cole whispered to himself, "Sometimes angels don't have wings, they ride." Because that day, when a little girl ran to a pack of bikers crying for help, she didn't just find saviors, she found men who remembered what it meant to be human again.